The college football experience, Arizona State Sun Devils season preview for 2022 on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WynnBET. Bet $50 at WynnBET and get $200 in free bets. Bet big, win bigger with WynnBET. Download the WynnBET app now or visit wynnbet.com. That's WYNNBet.com and start winning today. We're also brought to you by Sleeper. You already play fantasy on Sleeper, but now you can win cold, hard cash with their over-under game. Just head to sleeper.com/SGP on your phone to join the SGPN group, and Sleeper will automatically match your first deposit up to $100. That's sleeper.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by us. Yes, the SGPN app is live in the App Store and Google Play Store. It is home for all of our free picks and podcasts, and you can grab it for free today. So grab that thing and let it ride, people.
Hey, what's up, you degenerate gamblers? This is Bill Burr, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
Welcome to the college football experience, Arizona State Sun Devils season preview. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dad, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
Nobody knows nothing. Somebody knows. Double the price, but no one touches Dundee.
Oh, yes. I love it every day. 2-a-days. We're breaking down teams left and right. And we're on YouTube. So you're going to want to subscribe to us this year. All 131 FBS teams will be recorded live on YouTube. Solo podcast for every team in the land. And we are here to talk Arizona State Sun Devils. I am joined by my co-host, former JMU Duke defensive back. Give it up for the burrito eating, sideline kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing, Patty C in the place to be.
Hi-oh. Well,
somewhere, somehow, someone, somewhere.
I feel like Herm Edwards this year might be saying this coming into his team. Look, everyone else transferred out on this team, but guess what, guys?
Somewhere,
Somehow, someone is going to be taking the field for the Arizona State Sun Devils.
even if it's no one from last year.
Even if it's no one from last year, because it has been a fire sale in Tempe. But, you know, out with the bad air, in with the good air, as
COVID Colby says.
Look, Arizona State got in trouble for recruiting protocols. All right, we're just going to hop right in. They welcomed recruits on campus during COVID when you weren't supposed to be allowed to. I don't call me crazy, Patty C.
I doubt they're the only team in the country that's been doing
Oh, no, I would bet everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Your life savings.
I
retirement.
also happened to go to Arizona when COVID was happening. Every bar was open, Patty C. So I don't understand why they wouldn't be hosting recruits.
Right.
Because it acted as a guy that lives in Los Angeles. I went and spent a week in Sedona. I also went to Flagstaff, Arizona during COVID. And I went to the Grand Canyon.
Very different.
Business as usual.
I'll say this. Going from LA down to San Diego during COVID was like, oh my gosh. It's two different worlds.
So I think the problem here is the NCAA put in a rule where I highly doubt. I would be willing to bet that probably half of college football didn't follow those rules. But Arizona State did get caught. And I think that wasn't their only one. I also think they lied them when they got caught. And Antonio Pierce, former New York Giant, former Arizona Wildcat. Now that's another one. Do we play the X-File music? Antonio Pierce is from Arizona.
Ooh. Purposeful infractions potentially.
But regardless,
That would be hatred right there. Let me go coach at the rival.
and then wreck their program, right? Regardless, he was fired because of it, and there's speculation. You know, I thought our media made this big deal at like this was the worst thing ever. I'm sorry, Patty C. Does this offend you that much?
Yeah, I mean, come on, people. Like, bags are getting dropped all over the place, and you're mad about these players visiting.
But you're telling me when they had Texas A&M's #1 recruiting class or whatever it was, #4 the year prior, you're telling me no one entered the campus? I refuse to believe that.
Yeah. Yeah, if they did, it was in a car that was bought for them by the Texas A&M boosters.
Stop it, NCAA. Stop it. But regardless, there was a fire sale. You could shop till you drop on the Arizona State roster this past offseason.
Yeah. Blue
light specials going on left and right, Patty C. I mean, you can go through. You ready for this? I'm gonna try to rattle this off really quick.
We're doing outgoing transfers.
Outgoing first, right?
Yeah.
Well, first off, we still have a Rodney Gross Jr. linebacker. He's still in the portal. Also, Sion Villacoso, offensive lineman, still in the portal, right? Jermaine Lowell, four-star defensive lineman, Louisville Cardinal. Great get for the Cardinals, right? LV Bunkley Shelton. I'm very familiar with that name because he's a beast wideout. He's now at the with the Oklahoma Sooners. Ezra Dotson Oyatade. He's now with the TCU Horned Frogs. That's an offensive lineman they had that was playing. Spencer Lowell, another offensive lineman for the Sun Devils. He's now with the California Golden Bears. Ricky Pearsall, their leading receiver from a year ago. He's now with the Florida Gators. Eric Gentry, a stud 4-star linebacker. He's now with the USC Trojans. Jayden Daniels, their star quarterback, is now Brian Kelly's quarterback in Baton Rouge at LSU. We have Nathan Manning, a quarterback that's also in the portal right now. We also have Ethan Long, another quarterback that transferred out. We have Lanyata Alexander, a wide receiver that got some burn. I remember watching him. He's now a Washington Husky. We have Johnny Wilson, another really good wide receiver. He's at Florida State with Mike Norvell. Tommy Hill, starting cornerback, 4-star cornerback. He is now at Nebraska.
Yeah, they're not losing them. They're bums to non-quality programs. They're losing good players to blue bloods.
Yeah, defensive end Jordan Banks, he's gone. I think he went. That's the lone one that I think went to an FCS school. Linebacker Demonte Trainum transferred to Ohio State. Once again, like these are guys that are good players, man. It was a fire sale, and I still might be missing a name or two. This thing was crazy, but you know what? I heard rumors that when Jayden Daniels left, the locker room rejoiced.
Yeah. So
perhaps, out with the bad air, in with the good.
There you go.
In with
Addition
the good.
by subtraction.
So here we are with Herm Edwards. There's speculation. I think people are coming on him a little harshly, and maybe that's just our media being ridiculous these days.
Yes.
But I'm just gonna go ahead and say they're a very interesting team to me this year. So with that said, this is the Arizona State Sun Devils. This is a rich program. Go back. Todd Graham, the fucking Best Buy salesman. He'll sell you a Plymouth 84 tomorrow. 2 10-win seasons. Dennis Erickson, 10-win season. Go back to the 90s. Bruce Snyder, 11-1 Rose Bowl. Go back to John Cooper in the 80s, 10-1 season. Darryl Rogers, 10-2. Frank Kush, 12-0, 11-1, 10-2, 11-1, 11-0. This is a rich hit. This program is quality. All right, Dan Devine, remember him from Notre Dame? He's in Rudy, his character. 10-0 season in 1957. This program is good. It's coach proof.
Man, I didn't realize Frank Kush, 1975, finished #2 in the country with an undefeated season and a win over Nebraska in the Fiesta Bowl.
Sounds like they won a national championship to me, Patty C.
Yeah.
Here we go. I mean, I don't know what the fuck happened. But I can tell you this: they still were active in the portal. We'll get to that in a second. But coordinators, a lot of other coaches are gone. Can Herm carry it out. Herm's 25-18. How do you think he's doing? How would you grade his job at Arizona State thus far?
I mean, let's see. I think that puts him on par with most of the other coaches. This program is notorious for kind of underachieving based on
Talent, yeah.
what they have at their disposal with the giant population, a super
They
attractive
always got
student
players,
body.
man. They always, like, every time you watch, I think we always compare him to Pitt in the East Coast.
They're even more glamorous than Pitt, though. They should have.
But you know how I'm just saying they always put good pros out there. And you're like, what the fuck? How are you not better in college?
They're essentially, they should be USC, but they're like the NC State or what Clemson was, of the Pac-12.
If they just get it together, they could be nasty. But maybe Herm's that guy. I'm not ready to throw in the towel like the rest of America is. They were the 67th scoring offense in the nation last year, Patty C. 35th in rush offense. 99th in pass offense, 75th in total offense. So let me get this straight. Jayden Daniels, 99th in passing offense. Maybe it's not such a bad thing that he hit the road. All right?
That is surprisingly bad. He definitely went downhill statistically.
Yeah.
What do you have? 10 touchdowns, 10 picks last year?
Yeah.
He had a few years prior to that, somewhere in the high 20s in terms of touchdowns. So production definitely was not what it was before. It's a little bit concerning. Maybe that's because of Herm, and maybe that was a good thing that he left, or maybe, like we said, maybe there's something personal going on there, because the players were certainly happy when he left, according to reports.
Yeah, well, they just got 3 starters back on offense. But what he did this offseason, obviously needing to get coordinators, he went out and he hired Glenn Thomas. You'd say, offensive coordinator last year at UNLV. UNLV was a covering machine for us last year. They didn't win games, but they showed improvement, and they covered almost every week, I feel like, late in the year. Prior to Thomas's time at UNLV, he was co-offensive coordinator at Baylor and Temple with Matt Rule. Could that be a low-key good hire?
I mean, Matt Rule, it's tough to even say what his offensive identity is.
At Temple, I feel like they ran the ball heavy.
Yeah.
Who was their running back? He was good. I'm surprised he didn't make it to the NFL. I'm
drawing a blank on it.
He was a beast, though. I like that. I remember him being really good. And then they had PJ Walker, and they had Anderson at wide receiver. The current Carolina Panther, former New York Jet, Robbie Anderson. But they weren't a passing team. They were kind of like grinded out.
I feel like at Baylor they were pretty balanced too. Under Rule. He sets up. I mean, his balanced attack is good for the pros. He seemed like it was going to be a natural transition to the pros. And so if that's what they're bringing, Arizona State has the kind of talent that you can run a pro style offense and succeed.
And getting Xavier. I mean, look. First off, I guess I'm going to tip my hand a little bit. I know I go through the transfer portal later in the show, but Emory Jones is their starting quarterback. Most likely, I would say. Transfer from Florida, completed 65% of his passes a season ago, 19 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. What'd you call him earlier, Patty C?
Emory Jones?
Yeah.
What did I call him?
A stat sheet warrior or whatever.
Stat sheet warrior, yeah.
Where he racked up great stats against like Idaho or something.
He had 6 touchdown passes against Samford.
Yeah.
And 4 against Vanderbilt. Out of his 10 touchdowns or 19 touchdowns.
So it's like he
10 came against absolute garbage.
But I do think this. I think in an offense that's run first, Emory Jones could be pretty damn good.
Yeah. I mean,
he kind of would remind me of somewhat of PJ Walker.
Yeah, I don't think he has quite that mobility, but I think he's got some wheels,
And at the running back spot, they got a guy that me and NC Nick have been high on for years, coming in from Wyoming, Xazavian Valladay, and this kid's a beast.
Yeah,
he's a beast. So if their O-line can get sealed up, I think they're going to be a physical football team and could be pretty damn good with that backfield with Jones and Valladay in the backfield. Now.
Valladay, preseason second team all Pac-12.
He's a baller.
Offense.
Anyone that watched Wyoming football, he jumps off screen to you.
Yeah.
All their wide receivers are gone with the exception of Bryan Thompson. He is back, and just 2 of 5 offensive linemen are back. I know that does not seem good.
Alarms should be going off in your head right now.
But defensively, Antonio Pierce is gone. Obviously, they had to get rid of him. They bring in Donnie Henderson, who I know because I'm a New York Jets fan, and he was the defense coordinator when Herm Edwards was with the New York Jets. Donnie Henderson's been all over. He's coached. First off, he was the defensive backs coach last year. So I like them staying familiar because their defense was pretty good last
They had
year.
the number 1 scoring defense in the Pac-12 last year.
Yeah, and this guy's got a coaching history. Coached at Utah State back in the 80s, and Idaho back in the 80s. Then he went to Cal in the early 90s, Arizona State from 92 to 94, actually all the way to 97. So he was there when they made the Rose Bowl.
So he knows the history.
Then he went to the Houston Cougars. Then he went to the Baltimore Ravens. He was a defensive backs coach when they won the Super Bowl.
This guy's got a little bit of a pedigree here.
Then he went to the New York Jets. Then he went to the Detroit Lions, Jacksonville Jaguars, Arizona Cardinals, then the University of Southern, then Syracuse, then the Buffalo Bills, before a stop in the AAF with the Salt Lake Stallions, and then to Arizona State.
All over the place. Never been at a single location for more than 3 years since like the 2000s, essentially. So hopefully they're able to hang on to him. It sounds like he's coming home a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think the fact he worked with the defensive backs last year kind of, I think that's a good transition. It should be a smoother transition then. Now, they only bring 3 starters back on defense, Patty C, and only 1 of 4 on the defensive line, and that's Michael Matus, or Matus. 2 of 3 linebackers are back, led by Merlin Robertson, and they have a whole brand new secondary. But once again, if he coached some of the secondary last year, maybe that's not as big a hole as we think it is. I don't know. But I can tell you this, I don't know. I mean, that's a lot to lose. Patty C, let's talk transfer portal in a second, but do you have recruiting rankings?
Yeah, let me rock those for you. Kind of up and down, had a nice little stretch in the middle there, but obviously he has slid to an unacceptable level of late. Since 2018, moving forward, it's 36, 29, 24, but then 45 and 54 during the 22 cycle. So pretty bad. That's good for 6th, 5th, 4th, 8th, and dead last in recruiting this past year.
Well, I mean, who's going to come in? They have pending NCAA sanctions, so I guess that's the
I don't this 4-year composite. I don't really trust it yet from 24/7 Sports, but it's saying they dropped from the 24th overall class or composite rank in 2020 to 52 to 103 this year. So it seems like a lot of their talent has left.
You know what they need to do? They need to call the University of North Carolina and just never admit to anything. Take a page right out of their book. Kansas basketball as well. They just won a national championship.
Yeah. Any number of schools that have a similar profile.
And say, prove it, even though they might have proof.
Yeah. Right.
I mean,
still
LSU had proof.
Yeah.
Kansas had proof.
Yeah. And didn't make a difference.
Yeah, I would say fuck you.
Arizona State has plenty of money
NCAA
to fight.
has no
court.
power. Just keep getting continuances until college football might break away from the NCAA in the next couple of years. So just give me a call. My name's Pick Dundee. I'll give you advice for your institution. But all right, let's get us paid, Patty C.
Let's do it.
I want to tell you that the college football experience, Arizona State 2022 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WynnBET. Bet $50 at WynnBET and get $200 in free bets. Bet big, win bigger with WynnBET. Download the WynnBET app now or visit wynnbet.com. That's WYNNBet.com and start winning today. We're also brought to you by Sleeper. You already play fantasy on Sleeper, but now you can win cold, hard cash with their over-under game. Just head to sleeper.com/SGP on your phone to join the SGPN group, and Sleeper will automatically match your first deposit up to $100. That's sleeper.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by us and the SGPN app. Yes, believe it or not, that is free to download, and it is available any place, whether it's the App Store, whether it's a Google Store. You can get that thing for free. It's your home for all of our free picks and podcasts. So grab that thing today and let it ride. We're also brought to you by good old Athletic Greens and their AG1 supplement. You're probably wondering, hey, Colby, what the hell are you talking about? Well, with one delicious scoop of AG1, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source, superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. And this special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, your recovery, your focus, your aging, all of those things. And it costs less than $3 a day. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/SGP. Once again, that is athleticgreens.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by IPVanish. Did you know that browsing online using incognito mode doesn't actually protect your privacy? That's right. Without added security, you might as well be giving away our private data to hackers, advertisers, your ISP, and other prying eyes. That's why here at SGPN Studio, we use IPVanish VPN to make it easy to stay truly private and secure on the internet. IPVanish helps you safely browse the internet by encrypting 100% of your data. That means your private details, your emails, your passwords, your communication, your browsing history, and more will be completely shielded from falling into the wrong hands. If Arizona State had used this, Patty C, maybe they wouldn't be in trouble right now. Even your physical location is hidden at IPVanish, so it makes you virtually invisible online. So go to IPVanish.com/SGP and use that promo code SGP and claim 70% off your savings. That's IPVanish.com/SGP.
He was raised in the land down under.
That's right. And you're rocking with Pick Dundee as I play the wrong clip. This is what I was trying to do.
Coach Rubino, Devil's Digest.
Devil's Digest, huh?
Yes, sir.
Where you located, my man?
Right here in Tempe.
Okay, Devil's Digest. Okay. I'm Catholic now. I'm a Christian. Watch out, them devils.
He does it.
Classic. He didn't
does.
realize they were the Sun Devils when he was that was the press conference from Herm getting the job at Arizona
That's
State.
unbelievable. I mean, look, Arizona is a little bit of a retirement community type. Some nice golf courses down there. He's 68. His defensive coordinator 65. But maybe
he went out to the bars. Maybe he did a few Jaeger bombs with all those
Could be, right?
with all those hot broads that are there.
Yeah, I would be doing that. That's for sure. Or maybe he's just getting a little old though.
Yeah, that was pretty classic. But here we are, Patty C. You rattled off the recruiting rankings. Before I get to the schedule and the win projection, I just want to go through what they brought in because they were I kind of got to give them a little bit of credit. All those players went out. They got a little active. I guess they had to field a fucking roster. But I mean, Emory Jones from Florida, I alluded to. Xazavian Valladay from Wyoming at running back, I alluded to. But check this out. They get offensive tackle Joey Ramos from Iowa State to come in, Patty C. They get Chris Martinez from San Diego State. They get Des Holmes from Penn State to come in. They get tight end Messiah Swinson in from Missouri. They get wide receiver Cam Johnson in from Vanderbilt.
They had the number 18 ranked transfer portal, I guess, incoming class. Obviously, this must not take into account what they've lost.
Yeah. And then defensively, they had Corey Bethley from a safety from Hawaii. They added a cornerback, Ro Torrance from Auburn, a defensive lineman, Nesta Jade Silvera from Miami, Florida, and Chris Edmonds, a safety from Samford. So they were active.
Many transfers.
Yeah. I mean, that's why it's hard to get a gauge. I'll say this. I was a bit shocked. I'm actually going to make a prediction because Vegas set the win total at 6.5. I'm going to bet that this goes down over the course of our summer. I'm going to bet that it probably closes at 5.5 or 6.
Middle this bad boy now. Get it while
Well,
it's hot.
especially if you like the over, which let's get into it. Blindly, when you say 6.5, do you think you would get over this?
I mean, historically, what has he done over the past few years? His tenure, 7-6, 8-5, and then really 8-5 in the only other full season. So based on that, I would think you would go over, but based on everything else we talked about, I think under is the play. There's just too many new faces to gel that quickly.
I'm intrigued. Week 1, Thursday, September 1st. God's Eye will be rocking, and you better watch out for the Northern Arizona Lumberjacks because they did deal the Arizona Wildcats an L last year.
Oh, man. I'm sure they would love to take the state and make it their own.
Watch out. The Big Sky made a point last year. Northern Arizona's in the Big Sky in the FCS. They took down Arizona.
Yeah, they were an elite conference last year in the FCS.
Montana won at Washington. Montana State beat somebody. What was it? Oh no, I think they might have lost by 3-1. I don't know. They beat somebody, I thought. And then UC Davis took down Tulsa at Tulsa. It was a nice performance from the and Eastern
Beautiful
Washington
year.
beat UNLV.
Oh yeah, they showed out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I got them beating Northern Arizona on Thursday, September 1st. How about you, Patty C?
You would hope so. I want to make a quick note about last year. I mean, it's Southern Utah. What are they? Are they big
Thunderbirds? Yep.
Their big sky.
Yeah.
Well, they worked them 41-14. And I'm looking at the schedule for Arizona State last year. Not a single regular season game was decided win or lost by less than 10 points. So they do not play interesting games. They either whip teams or get whipped. That's all that happens with Arizona State. But they did whip a lot of teams last year. So, that suggests that they were better than even maybe their record indicates.
I do think they were pretty good last year. So I got them at 1-0. Do you?
I do, of course.
So all you need now is 6 wins to hit the over.
Yeah.
But this is one you might want to wait on. I think this might go down. But week 2 at Oklahoma State. Now, this one I find really interesting, Patty C. I'm going to take Oklahoma State. I know you are too, right? Yeah. But Oklahoma State is a strange team.
What's Spencer Sanders moving on?
No, he's coming back.
Coming back. Okay.
But look, last year I know Oklahoma State was a half a yard away from the playoffs.
Yeah.
But they only beat Missouri State by 7 in week 1 in Stillwater.
Yeah.
They only beat Tulsa by 5 in week 2 in Stillwater. And in week 3 at Boise State, they only won by 1. And that was in a questionable call in that game. My point is it would not shock me if Arizona State won we saw it with Herm. He went to Michigan State a couple years back.
Yeah.
And won. I think it was his first year. It would not shock me if they beat Oklahoma State week 2.
It took some time for Oklahoma State to gel. I think they got better throughout
But
the
they
year.
lost Jim Knowles, the defensive coordinator, to Ohio State.
Maybe they're a slow starting team. I mean, they brought Spencer Sanders back last year, so there should have been continuity in the offense right off the bat, and there wasn't.
I'm going to take Oklahoma State, but this is one where I truly would not be surprised if Arizona State's 2-0.
If this was in Tempe, I don't know. Then it would be a 50-50 game. I think Oklahoma State is definitely my favorite here.
I think State's going to get this win, but
yeah.
So I got it at 1-1, but it wouldn't shock me. Would not shock me. Week 3, Chris Creighton, watch out. They might go 6-6 or 7-5 every year, but they do sting the big guys. I told you, whether it was Illinois, whether it was Purdue, whether it was Northwestern, Eastern Michigan has been able to beat some of these guys. I'm taking Arizona State there. Yeah. In the desert, it's probably going to be at night.
Yeah. For as talented as Illinois and Purdue and Northwestern may be, the talent level between them and Arizona State is pretty big.
All right, so you got them at 2-1. I got them at 2-1. Patty C, all they need is 5 more wins.
We'll see if they can get there. The rest of this is when it gets tough. Here comes the conference slate.
The Utah Utes come in to Tempe, and let me tell you, Utah struggles in Tempe.
Is that right?
I'm going to pull this up if my internet will work here. I know that I've watched a few years where I thought one of the years Utah was about to make the Pac-12 championship, and they lost in Tempe. This is a dangerous game. Who do the Utes have the week before?
You're right. I'm looking all the way back to 2012, which was the first time they came to Arizona State. After moving into the Pac-12, and they lost then, or Arizona State won then. Arizona State lost in 2015 at home, lost in 2016 and 2014 at home, 2016 at home. So either way, it looks like they're 2-2 since hosting Utah since Utah moved to the Pac-12.
Yeah, but they've won in the desert, right?
No, let me see.
It's 2-2 in the desert.
2-2 in the desert. Yeah.
What were the scores on those?
Okay, 2012 they won 37-7.
Against Utah.
Against Utah.
Okay.
2014 they won 19-16 against Utah. So that's
2.
And then 2016 they lost 26-49. And then 2018 they won 38-20.
So they're 3-1.
3-1. My bad. Yeah, 3-1.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, something's not right because I did my history on this the other day.
That's interesting. 3-1 against Utah, and Utah has been good for a while.
It's the desert, man. Yeah. That is a legit home field advantage. And let me tell you this. Utah lost last year at San Diego State. When Utah, they're a great football team, but when they hit the road, they are susceptible because they play a style of football that keeps teams in the game.
Yeah. Ball control.
And call me crazy. Arizona State wins this game.
I like where your head's at. Man, it's tough to argue with the 3-1 factor there. I'm going to take Utah in this game, but I completely understand your argument.
I got them 3-1. They're at USC week, week 5. I got them losing at USC, Petty C.
I do too.
So I got them 3-2. Then comes the Washington Huskies. This is anyone's game.
I'm
taking Arizona State. No, this is a 50-50 game, dude.
I am tempted to take Arizona State in this one too. Let me get a quick look at what they've done at home against Washington. They have won the last, I mean, it seems like the last 6 or 7 that they played at home against Washington. I guess I got to go Arizona State here.
All right. I'm taking Washington. I'm taking Washington.
Right,
I think DeBauer is going to be good. All right.
We both have them at 3-3 through 6.
3-3. They get a bye week, and then they're at Stanford. Win.
Yeah, Stanford sucked last year. I'll take Arizona State.
Yeah, 4-3. Back-to-back away games in Boulder at Colorado.
They're better than Colorado.
Win.
Yeah.
So we got them at 5-3. We need 2 wins the remaining 3 games, Petty C.
Yep.
Home to UCLA. Man.
It's winnable.
Definitely.
Need I go? Should I go to UCLA and see what that series has been in the desert lately?
Yeah, I would love to know. I just think when you look at this, minus the USC game, I think they could win every fucking game. Now, obviously, that's not going to happen. They just lost too much. But this is a nice schedule.
It's actually been about a 50-50 series in the desert.
Okay, so let's give it to UCLA.
Okay.
At Washington State.
That's a tough one. What day on the calendar are we at now?
November 12th.
Oh boy, I think it starts to get a little cold up there for them. But 8-5 is 8-5. That's what they did last year, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to ignore how good they were last year.
Washington State breaking in a new quarterback, new OC.
I'll give them one of the UCLA and Washington State.
Okay. Well, that puts them at 6. And then they have Oregon State and the Arizona game.
They're going to win their last 2 games.
So you got them at 8-5 again.
I got them at 8-4. Yeah, I guess.
Oh, I'm sorry. 8-4. Yeah. The win total 6.5. I got them at 7-5.
The over is the play here.
The over is the play, despite losing 90% of their fucking roster.
Yeah. And Herm Edwards is just a good coach. You know,
I still think they have enough talent. Like Arizona State just keeps talent.
Yeah.
Like some of these games are going to be ugly, but I feel like the desert is a fucking tough place to win. We talk about this. I feel like we still don't talk about it enough. I think the Pac-12, more so than any Power 5 conference, has the hardest climate. 1 week you're playing at in
a rainstorm
in Eugene.
Yeah.
The next week it's cold as fuck in Pullman in the middle of a desert.
Yeah.
Right? The very next week you're in the desert in Tucson or Tempe. Yeah.
Degrees.
Then you have to go to Salt Lake City or Colorado at crazy altitude.
Yeah.
It is by far, and I don't think enough people talk about that nationally. It is a hard, and we've seen it. Look at the SEC's record when they come play at the Pac-12 over the past 20 years. 5-17. They are 5-17 when they come play at the West.
Yeah.
That's because these are weird places. These and these teams are probably better than what people realize because they're on the West Coast.
Yeah. When you have extreme conditions and you can modify your style of play to those conditions, and the other team isn't adjusted for that, it's like Miami going up to play Wisconsin in the Pinstripe Bowl, and they lose.
LSU also went to Green Bay. Remember they got their ass whooped.
Okay.
Yeah. Remember that a few years ago
Did they get their ass whooped? I thought it was a decent game.
Well, I mean they lost the game. Yeah.
But that was like.
But LSU was like top 5 that year. Yeah. And that was in the first week of the season, right?
Yeah. So weather shouldn't have even been a thing. That's just going on the road. I feel like more like, but you see these teams all the time go to conditions that they're not specifically built for, and they look like trash.
Here's the thing, man. I mean, this ticket is crazy to buy in a way. There's speculation that Herm Edwards could be fired before the season even starts. I would be surprised at that, because why go out and get all these transfers? Why go hire the DC, new OC, just to fire him? To me, if you're going to fire him, you do it back in like January or February.
Right. Don't let him build something and then fire him.
But I'm on the over. Like, this one is a crazy one to take because you don't the coaching stability is unsure.
Yeah.
The roster stability is crazy.
Yeah. We're gonna see how much this composite ranking, how much weight it holds, because if they really did drop from 52 overall last year to 103, that means they should be one of the least talented teams in the country, certainly in the Pac-12. Will that show up on the field, or is that a bullshit stat? We're gonna find out,
dude. I mean, if they hear me out here, if they happen to upset Oklahoma State week 2, I don't see a clear-cut loss besides USC on their fucking schedule. Now, I'm not saying they're going to go 11-1. I'm just saying that's a great fucking schedule.
Their hardest games are mostly at home. I mean, Utah, they get at home, and like we said, 3-1 in their
Washington
last 4.
at home is huge. UCLA at home is huge.
Yeah.
Even Oregon State at home. If you were to go to Corvallis, that's a loss.
Yeah. I mean, their road trips in the non-conference slate are at USC. Like you said, that's probably a pretty damn guaranteed loss. But at Stanford, coming off a bye, that's a cakewalk. That's like going and playing in a park.
Yeah.
You know, at Colorado, that's tough.
It's tough, but Colorado's
they
youth,
suck.
Yeah, everyone transferred at Colorado too, much like Arizona State.
Washington State can be a tough place to play.
Yeah, that could bite them. But then Arizona,
yeah,
they've had their number. They beat them a ton in a row.
Essentially, every team they play on the road either has, a sleepy environment or is shitty. So
I mean, call me crazy, but I wonder what the future is for Arizona State to win the Pac-12. Oh no, it's not divisions anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see there because it's the top 2 teams.
It's really, I mean, they don't get Oregon out of the North. They do get Washington, I guess.
But it's in Sun Devil Stadium. This is going to be a game, dude. This student body, that place gets lit.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I wanted to. I came into this saying I'm going to take the under. And I'm sitting here saying, okay.
Look out for the Sun Devils. Are they the type of team? I feel like maybe they are the type of team that when the expectations are low, they play up.
Yeah, watch them go 10-2.
Right.
Watch their 2 losses be Oklahoma State and USC. And they're sitting there playing in the Pac-12 championship against USC again.
Right.
Or something like that. You know what I mean? Or UCLA. I don't know, but
certainly might be within striking distance as the year comes to a close here.
Yeah, I mean.
Coach Rubino, Devil's Digest.
Devil's Digest, huh?
Yes, sir.
Where you located, my man?
Right here in Tempe.
Okay, Devil's Digest. Okay. I'm Catholic now. I'm a Christian. Watch out, them devils.
He is a moron.
Now, Herm Edwards. We'll see what happens. See, I'm rooting for you. You like Herm?
I do like Herm.
Yeah, I like him too. But that's what I'm saying. Herm Edwards. He knows college football. He's been around the NFL long enough. He hears stories. He's probably sitting there wondering,
what the fuck did I do wrong?
He plays to win the game. That's what I like about him.
I got that thing too somewhere here. Let me see if I can quickly
dial that one up for all.
Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.
On that note, I'm taking the over. Patty C's on the over. Subscribe to the College Football Experience because we're breaking down all 131 college football teams in the FBS this year, and we'll give you an FCS preview as well. Subscribe. We're on YouTube. Subscribe to us. Not enough subscribers on YouTube. Come on. Get these subscriptions. All right? Let's do this damn thing. All right? I'll get you a Sports Illustrated football phone too. All right?
Yeah, you get to look at these 2 handsome devils.
Yeah, exactly.
Why would you not?
You can, if you give us a 5-star review on iTunes or Spotify or even in YouTube, well, take a screenshot and send it to me on Twitter at TheColbyD. We'll send you a College Football Experience t-shirt, people. Brand new. Guarantee that. Perfect for the fall football season. So do that. We're on Twitter. The College Football Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Patty C's on Twitter at PattyC831, and our third man in the booth who's not here today, NC Nick, he's on Twitter at NC_NICK. Subscribe. Follow us all. Check out the Sports Gambling Podcast. Get that SGPN app. I think you'll dig it because we got and by the way, subscribe to the College Basketball Experience because we also host the College Basketball Experience. Arizona State, Bobby Hurley, big year for him this year. I think he might surprise. And
staying alive.
Obviously, Tommy Lloyd at Arizona. I know these Sun Devil fans hate to hear me say that, but they had a great first year with Tommy Lloyd. Arizona basketball's back. Grand Canyon University, a decent mid-major there with Bryce Drew doing things. But anyway, we got you covered on the College Basketball Experience. Subscribe, tell a friend. Also, the MLB Gambling Podcast. That thing is fantastic. Subscribe to all that. You'll get all of that with the SGPN app. All right. So do that. Check that out. Also, check out the Slack channel, Sports Gambling Podcast. All right, folks. This is the college football experience, Arizona State style. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.